Listen to Seth Everett on NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network, which you can listen to at NBCSportsRadio.com. Download the NBC Sports Radio mobile app today. He joins us to take a look at the MLB season. As Seth, we have turned the calendar to June, which means we got to figure out who's got staying power and who is a pretender at this stage. And let's start tonight. We got Yankees Red Sox. Who thought this rivalry would have meaning at this stage of the season?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be watching. Yankee Red Sox games are the slowest games on the face of the earth. It is like watching paint dry. It's so funny to see how these two teams are relevant again, and it's good to see. I mean, look, I'm very encouraged by what the Yankees have done. There's no secret about it. There's no secret the most talented team in that division is the Red Sox. The team that I've been very high on in the past, the Orioles, they've kind of fallen on. The Zach Britton injury really, really hurt them. So my gut instinct is, these games will have greater value. That just means they'll be slower. Maybe means ESPN picks them up for a Sunday night game, and oh boy, where's Netflix?
In that East right now, Yankees are on top. Which of these teams do you think, as we're in June, has the staying power? Is this Boston's to win, or do you think it will be a three-team race?
Well, I'm not a huge believer in the Yankees. Look, I've given them tons of credit for what they've done so far, but I just think that with them, with their injuries, if you think about their rotation, Masahiro Tanaka is an enigma, and Aroldis Chapman's on the shelf. Now, if you were going to tell me that CC Sabathia was going to get 34 starts, that's what he's on pace for, and I would have told you half that. I would have taken the under. And so he's on. He's pitching every fifth day. Michael Pineda's been out there every fifth day. I would love to see how these pitchers just all keep going. And I don't know how the other shoe doesn't fall. I don't think it's a collapse either. If they're 10 games over 500 on June 6th, and then by July 6th they're a 500 club. That being said, the Red Sox have a decision to make. They beat up on the Orioles yesterday. The Red Sox have to recognize whether or not they consider the return of David Price enough. Are they looking for another pitcher? Is Johnny Cueto headed there? Is Garrett Cole headed there? Marcus Stroman, I doubt it, in the division. You look at those kinds of decisions because Boston right now is probably a pitcher short. The team I'm very curious to see about is the Orioles because they started the season with a great sense of urgency. I hope they continue to have that sense of urgency. And then, Tampa and Toronto are no slouches. They're hovering around the 500 mark. It's a great division.
Yeah, Tanaka tonight's the first time the Red Sox and Yankees meet this year. Latest date they've met since 2011. In the Central,
I knew the baseball season's been great.
Cleveland is the defending champs. Of course, they went to the World Series, but Minnesota sits on top. In the Central in June, does Minnesota have staying power?
Well, I think Cleveland, they're only a game back, and they're 2 in the loss column. And the Indians, there have been some injuries to their pitchers, and, now it's just a matter of getting consistency and stabilizing. I heard a great interview with Terry Francona. I couldn't remember where I saw it. It might have been one of the television stations. And, Francona was talking about how, the pieces are there. It's just a matter of execution and just kind of getting into a rhythm. And this wonky weather that we've had in the Northeast has played a role in it, because you're not in that boys of summer mode. That being said, the Indians are far and above the best team in that division on paper. Now, games aren't won on paper. For the Minnesota Twins to be doing this, I take the Twins and I lop them with the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, the Brewers, the Yankees, like all those teams. I didn't think they would be here so far, so I'm not going to take that fantasy football mentality, no offense, but I'm just not going to project and say, okay, well, now the Twins have 29 victories on June 6th, so they're going to win 91 games. Like, I can't see that far. I got to see the development. I got to see how these guys make adjustments. I'm not ready to start talking about the Twins as a playoff team yet, but that's not to say that I'm not seeing their success. You know what I'm saying? Like, the question can be asked in two different ways. Like, how great has the Minnesota Twins season been so far? It's been fantastic. This kid Sano is a fun pleasure to watch. but that doesn't necessarily mean I predict that they are going to be there at the end.
If their season's been fun, the Astros have been absolutely a blast. They've won 11 in a row. Their 7, 8, 9 hitters are better than most teams' 3, 4, and 5. They're 14 games up. Pencil them into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're ready to go. They haven't lost since people asked me last week. They said, "Who's the best team in baseball?" Is the Astros, and I said, "Wow, don't discount the Nationals. They're pretty good too." And don't get me wrong, they're good too. But I don't think the Astros have lost since I said that. So I don't know. They're an incredible team. To sing their praises, it doesn't do them justice. The young players are not young anymore. They're third and fourth years in the league, and the pitching has been fantastic. This kid McCullers is lights out. He's just been great, and ultimately their biggest problem is going to be time, because we've seen this since time immemorial. You look at teams that have these long times. They are not going to play a game that they have to win until the first round of the playoffs. And there's nothing they can do to create that kind of incentive. There's no team in the division that's going to make a run at them. So what do they do? How do they stay motivated? That's a big challenge.
All right, we both probably think Washington and Chicago, but does Colorado have staying power in the West? We'll end on that.
Oh, I'd love it to be true.
Yeah.
I got my purple shirt. I have ties to that organization. I have no problem saying I'm rooting. The funny thing is, people in Los Angeles got mad at me because I went on a radio show and I said that I didn't think the Dodgers were going to win the West now that the Giants are considered out of it. And people got all, you're disrespecting the Dodgers. No, I like what the Rockies are putting together. The Dodgers, what the Diamondbacks are putting together as well, but, if I had to pick one, I'd say I like the staying power of Colorado just a little bit better. And my instinct has been that they need a pitcher. And I'll tell you, Garrett Cole looks great in a Rockies uniform right now. Marcus Stroman looks great in a Rockies uniform right now. So let's see if we can get some kind of a veteran to come anchor that rotation, because they got some young kids in there that are kind of having mixed results.
Good stuff from Seth Everett, NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network. Listen at NBCSportsRadio.com. Phillies look for 4 in a row tonight. Seth will do it again soon, pal.
Oh, yeah. How did we not lead with that?
Sorry, man. I tried. Have a good one, pal.
See ya.